Dear students, welcome to virtual classroom of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. I am Sreekumar. The class is for 10th standard students. Subject is mathematics. Let me begin the class.
Dear students, this is the last view of or last page of last screen of my previous video related to distance formula under coordinate geometry. If you have not gone through that particular video, you should stop this video now and go back and get that video from the description below and watch it thoroughly, then come back here. Why? Because without knowing that what is in that video or what is meant by distance formula, you cannot follow further. This is the last shot or screen of the last video where we could derive a formula to find out the distance between 2 points using a derived formula here, where the distance between AB can be calculated by the formula x square, by the formula AB is equal to root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. And to remind you what is this x1 and x2 are, you can please look into the diagram here, where x1 is denoting the x-axis value. Here at this point, you know that this is the x-axis and this line is parallel to it. x1 of A denotes this particular point and x2 denotes another point over here which is at P. And as far as y1 and y2 are concerned, this is the y-axis and this is the position of y1 and y2. That means we are having 2 points which are named as A and B, and the distance between these 2 points can be calculated one way. It is by Pythagoras theorem. If you know the sides of the triangle, the right angle triangle, the sides of the right angle triangle, but the distance between BD and AD should be known. That is AD square and BD square, which can help us to find out AB square by the Pythagoras theorem. To get AD, we use this axis graph where you will be getting AD is equal to, AD is this distance from here to here, which will be x2 minus x1, you can see here, and the distance between BD will be equal to y2 minus y1, you can see here, the square of this. And so this is a very simple formula derived out from this coordinate points on a graph with the help of Pythagoras theorem. No jadoo in that. Pythagoras theorem applied to the coordinate points of coordinates of the points, and naturally we developed a formula. And coordinates of each point can be easily shown in a graph because each point has got its own coordinate in any one of the 4 quadrants. So with all these things what is studied in the last video, we will go ahead to apply this formula in different situations to find out. Meanwhile, I would like to say, see, this is a particular formula. The peculiarity of the formula is that if you think about the formula, rewriting the formula, these are squares and you have taken square root of it. You can see that. So this formula where we are having x2 minus x1 and y2 minus y1, right? Whether it is x1 minus x2, that means if I write it like this, x1 minus x2 whole square, irrespective of their sign, whether you get a minus negative answer or a positive answer, you know that the square will be positive. So there is no such rule that x2 minus x1 ही लिखना है, x1 minus x2 लिखे तो भी वही आंसर मिलेगा, because negative का square भी positive है, positive का square भी positive है. So the formula can be rewritten if required at the time of working out as y1 minus y2 whole square. But normally we prefer to write the same formula. But for your knowledge, I just said, and we will apply this formula for a given situation to find out how the formula works. In fact, here we have not supplied any data here. This is simply data which are denoted by x1, y1, x2, y2. Suppose that this x1, y1 are replaced by real data. That is what we have to find out in this video. Okay, so for that I have copied a part of your textbook where the points are denoted by the coordinate points. Here the coordinate points are again A and C here, not B, and you can see that A is denoted by x-axis which is equal to 2, and y-axis here it is 3, and here it is x-axis equal to -2, y-axis equal to 2. Understood? So in that case what will happen is we will supply this into our formula. So I need to write down here what is this A and C. In this case I can simply say that to find the distance, to find what we have to find, this distance AC, to find the distance AC, okay, the length of the segment AC, I would say. We have all what we have. What is given over here is in fact A is equal to 2. A is having the coordinates 2 and 3, and the C coordinates are nothing but -2 and 2. This is what is given. Now what we have in our hand is something like we can say according to the formula. We will write the formula to find out. From there we can conclude a lot. The formula which we will be using is in this case AC is equal to, we have to apply our just learned formula, which is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. But here you see that we can simply say that A is denoting x1 y1, okay, no problem, and C is denoting x2 y2. As I told you, this is not that which one is x1. If x1 case साथ y1 चाहिए उतना important है. So in that case we will be writing over here as this is x2 category. x2 is equal to -2 and x1 is equal to 2, so the whole square, right, and plus, and y2 is equal to 2 again, and y1 is equal to 3 here, so we wrote that also. In that case we will be writing this as -4 whole square. I forgot to write the square root sign over here. Managing my digital pen, please bear with me. Okay, so this will be -4 square, and this will be 2 minus 3 minus 1 whole square. So in that case this will result in the situation -4 whole square is equal to 16 plus 1, irrespective of the sign inside. This will end up in a situation root of 17. This is what is the distance of AC. Okay, this you should keep in your mind. We can apply the formula to find out the distance. So we applied the formula and could get the answer in that case as root 17. This is the formula we applied, and it can be in any one of these formats. As I told you already, x2 minus x1 or y2 minus y1. There is no harm in that. What is the first point? Our coordinates of origin are 0 and 0, and hence if coordinates of point P are x, y, and that of distance OP is equal to root x square plus y square. What does it mean is that when you are thinking about coordinates of origin 0 and 0, that means x is 0, y is 0, that is the origin of our graph where it is. Here it is, and if coordinates of P are x and y, a particular point where the coordinates x and y, then distance OP, when one of that is in the 0, so naturally it will be x square plus y, because we should, when we substitute in this, one of this will become 0, because origin is in 0. So that is not important, it automatically comes when you substitute in formula. What is more important is understanding this formula and applying this formula. Okay, let us go ahead. These are certain examples for you. Find the distance between points P minus 1, 1 and Q5 and -7, which are respectively the coordinates x1, y1, we can say x1, y1, x2 y2 we will mark it as, and suppose then what is the distance between, then we will mark it as x1 x2 y2 and we'll substitute in the formula. X1 is -1, y1 is 1, x2 is 5 and y2 is equal to 7. We will simply substitute in the formula, follow the principles of arithmetics and get the answer. Nothing to worry in that. But I have to tell you something different. Here is a question. Show that the points A, B, C are given. Are they collinear? The question is, are they collinear? How to find out these points are collinear from these coordinate points? The technique is, इसलिए teacher important example explain करने में, the technique is that these are coordinates of points A, B and C, correct? So we will try to find out that using distance formula, the distance between AB and BC and AC. ऐसा क्यों? Collinear points का मतलब क्या है? The points will be on a line, right? The points will be, let me draw a line here. Let me draw it little perfectly so that this kind of situation and common sense is applicable in many places. That's why. Suppose that there is a line like this. Okay, if we are thinking about collinear points like A, B and C, if they are on a line we call it as collinear, right? Okay, so in that case, if this AB is equal to, for example, for those students who are not able to get how distance formula will solve this, if distance between A is equal to 5 centimeter and this is equal to 3 centimeter, then total distance will be 8 centimeter. Then only it will be collinear. That means total of this, the smaller number must be equal to the higher number. If this is satisfied, we can say that they are in line. If not, they are not in line. So that we will check. If AB is given as 4 root 2 after substituting the formula, BC is given as 8 root 2, and when we do this AC, we are getting it as 12 root 2. That means 8 root 2 plus 4 root 2 is equal to 12 root 2. That means these 3 points are collinear. So this is the technique used. Okay, that you should remember how this kind of things can be used for finding out the points are collinear or not. Okay, let us go ahead. Here is another question, an example. It is asked that show that the points 1, 7, 4, 2, minus 1 and 1, minus 1, minus 4 are vertices of a square. इसमें distance formula का क्या काम है? तो काम ऐसा है, here also these are vertices of a square पूछा है. तो square का vertices A, B, C, D है समझ लो. अगर इनकी distance all these are equal to 5 units, then it is a square. Yes, most probably it should be a square, otherwise it should be a rhombus, because rhombus also have all its sides equal, you know that. Then if the diagonals are also equal, then we can say because in rhombus diagonals are, this will be longer and this will be shorter. In rhombus diagonals are also congruent. So if diagonals are also equal, then we can say it is a square. So what we will do is we will find out the distance of AB, BC, CD and AD, as well as the distance between BD and AC. So in that AB, BC, CD and AD are equal, we have got it. Distance formula apply कर रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं. And AC or BD भी equal है, then it is a square, and it has come equal in this example. So we will declare that this is a square. So distance formula can be used for finding out given points are the vertices of a square. That is the technique used. All these are techniques or applying our common sense into it. Find the coordinates of a point y-axis which is equidistant from the points -5, -2 and other points are 3 and 2. इसमें क्या डिस्टेंस फॉर्मूला है? इसमें डिस्टेंस फॉर्मूला के लिए इधर दिया है फाइंड द कोऑर्डिनेट ऑफ पॉइंट ऑन वाई एक्सिस. वाई एक्सिस में किधर तो एक पॉइंट है, हमको नहीं मालूम किधर है, विच इज इक्वी डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम दीज 2 पॉइंट्स. तो इधर ये कौन सा भी क्वाड्रेंट में हो सकता है, हमको नहीं मालूम, लेकिन द डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम दैट टू वाई, distance from that to y, one is in the negative quadrant section, this is a positive, I don't know where it is, but it is understood, but that is not important here. But the distance to the point on y axis के एक point के उधर, the distance from that point is equal, that is equidistant. So how distance formula will help to find out this? So we will consider that the point be P at 0 y, because y axis में तो x axis तो 0 ही आएगा, x axis ये है and the point is on y axis, तो x की जगह पे आपको 0 डालना पड़ेगा. y axis में किधर तो point है and that point can be marked as P and PM, the first one, and PN are equal. That is what it should be equal. The distance PM and PN should be equal. So we will find out that. That means PM square and PN square must be equal. So we will find out that. What is it? The distance PM whole square. So that is what is done here. When it is done, the coordinate of the point of y-axis is equidistant from M 0 and -2. Where is that point? 0 of x-axis -2. Because it is given equidistant, only we have to find out the value of y in this case. X-axis is 0, we know. So this is at -2. If the point is in the case -2, then if you mark the points -5, I'm not going to mark. Because it's an arithmetic calculation, not in our diagrams. If points -5 and -2 as well as the point 3 and 2 will be equidistant from that point on y, then that y point is -2. That's it. Another example to tell us and use our distance formula in a different situation. क्या है ये एक coordinate are -3 and -4. This is -5 and -3 and 0 vertices of a triangle ABC, and find the coordinates of the circumcenter of ABC. Circumcenter is that point which are equidistant from the vertices. Circumcenter को हमने P नाम दे दिया, वो C से B से और A से equidistant होना मांगता है. Again we will find out the distance PA, PB, BC, but P is not given. And either x-axis, y-axis बता भी नहीं सकते. We have to apply another common sense. We know that P is equidistant from ABC. Correct? That means PA square, PB square, PC square, all this must be equal. Squaring the same. And if in that case, if PA square is equal to PB square, and the coordinates are named as A, B, so we will apply in the formula. PA square is equal to PB square. PA. X-axis A, here -3. Y-axis B, and here it is -4. We will supply that. Supply it in the formula and get an equation with reference to the point, with reference to PA square. That is, if PA square is A minus 2B, then PB square will be 0. Understood? We are simply applying the distance formula here. As you have done more than one sum, as you have observed more than one sum, the formula is not written here, but it is x minus x2 minus y1 whole square, the same formula. Minus of minus plus ho gaya idhar, right? Once the formula is applied, we get an answer in terms of A minus 2B is equal to 0. We also know that PA square is also equal to PC square, again supplying the next set of data. C का data supply किया. Then we got a formula 3a plus 2b is equal to minus 4. This is in terms of a and b. This is also in terms of a and b. We can apply simultaneous equation which we have studied in 9th standard, and we can set up. We can get a is equal to minus 1, b is equal to minus 1 upon 2. So the coordinates of circumcenter are minus 1 and minus 1 upon 2. What are the things you know? Circumcenter is equidistant from vertices. Distance formula can be used for calculating the distance if you know the coordinates of the respective points. These two things you applied here and you succeeded. Understood? So my dear students, this is a way of solving the situation using distance formula, and be very sure and clear about how the formula is made use in different situations, and moreover be confident that the formula gives you correct answer, because we found it in 2-3 cases very clearly that what we expected became the answer. And principle, one case was of what we say collinear points, another was about vertices of square, this is about circumcenter. Questions are different but application is same. Here is another question, it is an example, another one, where this time the peculiarity is that if the points are given here, like for example, point xy is equal, there it was a point is given, here xy it is given, xy is equidistant from point 71 and 35, and but prove that or show that y is equal to x minus 2. So this is a situation like geometry where you are asked to prove, and let us name this point as P, and this as A and this as B. That is what is done here. And we know that AP must be equal to BP because it is given equidistant. We'll substitute in that, nothing. Substitute in the formula and resolve it, and you will get it as x minus 2 because it is given that show that y is equal to x minus 2 means it is true. Another situation is given here, value of the distance between points A, B, which are 2, minus 2 and minus 1, and y is not given, is 5. The distance is given. Here interestingly the distance is given, that is phi square is given, and only y is not given. Again, by putting it in the formula you will get an option of y is equal to 2 or minus 6. So this is also simple application of distance formula in a different situation. So my dear students, these are all examples from your textbook which I was trying to explain, because एक एग्जाम्पल समझ में आया तो आपको 3 सम कर सकते हैं एक्सरसाइज का, फिर भी नहीं कर सकते तो आपको वापस टेक्स्ट बुक में जाना है, वीडियो में जाना है, एग्जाम्पल में जाना है. एक्सरसाइज शुड बी डन बाय योर ओन एफर्ट सो दैट यू विल बी अप्लाइंग योर नॉलेज इन ए न्यू सिचुएशन. This is another example where again the same topic, whether they are collinear or not. As I told you, if they are collinear, as I had shown you before, if you are considering a line with the 3 collinear points A, B, C, A, B and C, and if this is 5 and this is 3, this must be 8. The same principle is used, and in this case what happened is PQ is equal to root 10, QR is equal to 100, and PR. So these are P and Q and R for your understanding, P, Q, R. And here we have got PQ as root 10 and QR as 100. Then PR must be 100 plus root 100 plus root 10, which is equal to root 100, and instead of that you got here we have got root 90. इसका मतलब PR का R इधर नहीं है, इधर है, इस तरफ है. So that way PR is something different, PQ का balance हो गया. So we will declare that they are not collinear because वो sum आया नहीं. So these are all simple way of asking you to check that whether you know how to apply distance formula in different situation. My dear students, days are going ahead, portion is going ahead, more than 60 to 70% portion is over now, and in that case teachers load is reducing and the students load is increasing. How can you reduce your load, especially in mathematics? The load of mathematics can be reduced by practice. You cannot do by heart anything. You have to face the situation of answering a question. So you have to imitate the situation before that. That means you have to practice. आपको फुटबॉल खेलने के टाइम अगर बॉल लेके आगे जाना है, कितना भी दूसरे लोग कैसे लेके जाते देख के खड़े हो जाओ, नहीं होगा. आपको खुद बॉल लेके जाना है, आपका पैर से बराबर पास देके वापस पास लेके. मेरा बोलने का मतलब आपको खुद आंसर करने को प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा. देन सिर्फ मैथ्स पेपर के 2 दिन पहले आपको पढ़ाई बंद कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि लास्ट 2 डेज में मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ सकते. यू कैन सिंपली टेक रेस्ट बिकॉज यू हैव प्रैक्टिस्ड. आई ऑलवेज कंपेयर प्रैक्टिसिंग विथ साइकिलिंग. ऐसा चीज़ है जितना आप चलाएंगे आप उतना बेहतरीन अच्छा चलाएंगे साइकिल. पहले तो कितने बार गिरता है, लेकिन बाद में तो बिना हैंडल पकड़ के भी कोई साइकिल चला के दिखाता है, चलाना नहीं है. सो द थिंग इज दैट प्रैक्टिस विल मेक यू परफेक्ट. थैंक यू.
Now click on the subscription button below to subscribe the channel, then the bell button to get the notifications of the new videos. Thank you.